Guys, so sorry I'm a little late on this video, but who cares? So let's jump right into it. The Boston series. It was a 4-game set, and the Tigers were looking to hopefully take 3 of 4 from the Red Sox. Um, Boston had been playing pretty decent ball, and so game 1 was. I need to bring this up here real quick. Oh, okay. Game 1 was Jose Alvarez. Alvarez was making his second start in the big leagues because Anibal Sanchez is still hurt. And this game, the Tigers, might as well just fast forward to the ninth. Tigers are down 2 runs, and Andrew Bailey comes out. Andrew Bailey this year has been almost as bad, maybe even worse than Jose Valverde with when it comes to the closer role. And Victor Martinez leads off the game with a walk. JP on the spot, walk-off homer. Tigers steal game 1 from the Red Sox. It was a great game, and it was something the Tigers don't do very often. They came back against the team down late in innings because, man, the Tigers' offense this year, scoring late in games, has just been pitiful. They don't score late in games. They don't mount many comebacks. I mean, chances are after 6 innings the Tigers are losing. They're not coming back. That's the way it's been all year. Game 2, Tigers got they got really close to coming back. They were down 5-1 at one point because the Red Sox jumped on fifth, so they got a lucky inning off them. A bunch of cheap hits. I mean, I'm not gonna. I mean, they scored runs, but I'm not gonna give them too much credit. It was a bunch of cheap hits off Fister. And that's the way rallies are typically started. And the next inning leads off with a couple cheap hits by the Tigers, and Miggy hits a 3-run shot. It was 4-5. But the Tigers couldn't pull in because their bullpen sucks. You know, you couldn't get that one shutdown inning from any arm, and the bullpen just couldn't keep the game close enough to get the Tigers back, to keep the Tigers in it. And John Lester, even though he pitched like crap, he got the freaking win, and the Tigers lost 10-6. And then the next night, Max Scherzer's on the bump. So you know that means that he's going to get a lot of offense. He always gets a lot of offense every time. He averages the most runs by any starter in the American League. And Tigers, sure enough, scored him 10 runs. Scherzer started out a little rocky, gave up a couple runs right off the bat, but then right after that, pitched gem. Added to his wins. He's got 11-0 right now, and I just don't know what more to say about Scherzer. He's pretty much been the ace of the staff this year with the way Verlander has pitched. You know, Scherzer's whip's under 1. His ERA is closing in under 3. I mean, K9 is good, is hardly walking anyone. His fastball's great. His secondary stuff looks as good as I've ever saw. I mean, Max is pitching great. And he keeps pitching like this. He could be a Cy Young by the end of the year. Who knows? But like I said, Tigers scored him 10 runs. Great pitching night all the way around. And then game 4, Tigers won that as well to cap off the series. Joaquin Benoit was the pitcher of record in this game. Justin Verlander had another awful start. 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. It's every time he goes out there, it's just I feel like I'm watching 2008 Justin Verlander over again. His ERA is 3.90. He's got a 1.38 WHIP. I mean, his career, and just to see how much he's walking, guys, his career WHIP is 1.3. Or 1.19, you know, and I can only imagine what his walks per nine is career to. It could be a little over 2. Let me check this right now. His career walks per 9 is 2.8, and this year he's averaging 3.2, which is the highest that he's averaged ever in his career. His WHIP, if it ended today, would be the highest WHIP he's ever had in his career, or second highest WHIP he's ever had. Except for 2008 when his WHIP was 1.4. You know, his K per 9 is as high as it's ever been in his career, but who cares about that? He's given up more hits per inning than he ever has in his career. He's on pace to throw the least amount of innings he's thrown since his rookie year. I mean, he's looking awful, and it's sad to see Verlander pitching like this. It really is, especially after getting that contract. I think that's why he's pitching so bad. He just got that contract, and he's trying to save his arm for the long haul for the years down the road. He knows he's going to be here for a while no matter how bad he pitches, and I think he's just been trying to save his arm and not throwing the same way he has, because his velocity's been down this year. His secondary stuff just does not look the same. It's just I'm a loss for words every time I watch Verlander pitch. It's just not the guy we were used to seeing the last 2 years. So I'm gonna preview what's left of the Angels series. Tigers absolutely got their asses handed to them last night by the Angels, even though C.J. Wilson pitched okay. They gave Porcello a lead, and then all of a sudden they had an 8-run inning in the fourth. They batted around, and it was pretty much over. Tigers lost 14-8. Yep, they got shit on, and I turned the game off after the 5th inning because by then it was 10-4 or 10-2. No, it was 10-2. Yeah, not a pretty game. Tigers have lost 7 straight games against the Angels, and they just can't beat them. Tigers need to put on the Houston Astros uniform because the Angels can't beat the Astros. So if we pretend we're the Astros, maybe we can salvage this series. So Alvarez is making what appears to be his final start in the big leagues because Anibal Sanchez looks like he's good to come back. Maybe his next start. He's going up against Tommy Hanson, and Tommy Hanson has not been that great this year. He's got a whip over 1.5. His ERA is 5.10. Not had a good year at all. I don't know what happened to that guy either. He was pretty damn good with the Braves earlier in his career, but he's been really bad the last 2 years. Then to close off the homestand, Dougie Fresh goes up against Jared Weaver, and Jared Weaver's another ace not having a great year. You know, he's missed a lot of time with that broken arm he suffered in Texas, but his last couple starts he's been getting hit around, and I think this is the first time Weaver pitches at Comerica Park since that one game where Carlos Guillen showboated off him, and he threw at Avila. And he got thrown out, which was July 31st of 2011. Because that's when Jacob Turner made a start against him. I remember that. It was right before the deadline, July 30th. It was a really good start. It was Verlander versus Weaver, and Verlander won the Cy Young and MVP that year, 2011. So, all right, guys, that's all I got for you. Hopefully the Tigers can salvage the series against the Angels because they've lost 7 straight against them, and the Tigers just do not pitch well against them. Their offense has been garbage against them, and the Angels aren't even that great of a team this year. They have not lived up to expectations. Pujols is hurt. He hasn't had a great year. Hamilton has just been atrocious. Trout and Trumbo and Howie Kendrick have been really their 3 best hitters on that team this year. And their pitching staff hasn't been great. Their bullpen hasn't been really nothing to brag about. But when they play the Tigers, they just destroy us. I don't get it. So, that's all I got for you guys today. Go Tigers.